I'm currently being recorded, his Ring camera said.
Can I help you?
Hey, Sergeant Fahey, how are you?
You gotta get off my property. It's posted no trespassing.
Nope, there is no posted sign. There's no problem. Do you have any, let's go. Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are, I am moving. Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving? Couldn't even get the question out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry. Couldn't even get the question out. He says that there's no trespassing signs. Let's see. Let's see if there's no trespassing signs. What a coward. He can assault me in broad daylight while receiving taxpayer money. But the minute an independent journalist comes to his home, and he's probably going to try and get me unlawfully arrested now. As you could see, I moved back his camera that says you are currently being recorded. Film this guy. You're crazy. What do you think I'm doing, you psycho? You have a weapon in your hand? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't have any weapons. I'm a journalist. What do you think I'm doing, you psychopath? What do you think I'm doing?
Get off my property right now.
What do you think I'm doing?
Get off my property right now.
I'm off your property.
This is my property.
Well, do you see me not moving?
All the way to the cul-de-sac.
Calm down.
Get off my fucking property.
Get that gun out of your hand,
Get off my fucking property.
Get that gun out of your hand,
I'm a goddamn Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't care who you are.
Trespassing
I don't care who you are.
Fucking property.
I don't care who you are.
Get off my fucking property.
I don't care who you are.
Right now.
You spit in my face.
Get off my property right now.
You're going to jail now.
Get
Look
off
at this.
my property.
Look at this. He spit in my face.
You're right in my face. I'm spitting as I'm talking to you.
No, you spit in my face.
Get off my property.
You spit in my face.
Now.
You spit in my face.
Get off my property.
You're going to jail.
Right now.
I'm going.
Get off my property.
I've been going.
Right
since the
now.
moment you told me.
Get off my property.
That's not how criminal trespass works.
Now. Get off my property.
You're
right
Look
now.
at the gun in his hand. This guy's
Goddamn
crazy.
Right. I'm a Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't care a shit who you are.
You are trespassing on my property.
That doesn't matter. You
threatened to kill me. You threatened to kill me online.
Right. No, I did not.
Get off my fucking property.
Liar.
Right now.
You are a liar.
Right now.
Look, see the big beautiful billboard truck? It's all being recorded.
I don't care.
It's all being. I know you don't care. Because you don't face any consequences.
Get off my property.
Any consequences.
Right now. This is the biggest mistake you ever made.
No, it's not.
This is the biggest mistake you ever made.
No,
Get
it's
off
not.
my property right now.
It's not the biggest mistake.
Get off my property right now.
It's not the biggest mistake.
Get off
you
my
spit in my face.
I didn't spit in your face.
You disgust.
Mike, is your argument that he should have walked inside and called the police because this guy was no threat to him?
Correct. He's
How do you know?
Every thousand of his videos, he's never been aggressive.
It only takes one time.
Okay. You guys have obviously never been in any confrontation or had the news show up at your house.
The driveway is long as shit from where the video is. So it doesn't matter because it's not like
the mailman can walk to your fucking door. The auditor can walk.
And he refused to leave. Did he not? Did he not refuse to leave?
And he backed up. He backed up all the way.
We're at a Burger King and a fucking bum is in there harassing the employees. And the employee manager says, tell this guy to leave. And you look at him and you say, I'm a duly appointed officer of the law. If that guy sucks his teeth and doesn't turn around and march out that door promptly, you're hooking him and you're taking him to jail.
You're in official capacity at that point. You're a cop.
But then just the same as if you're a homeowner. When you're a homeowner, you're the official capacity. You're the sheriff of your property. Right?
Yeah, that's a fair argument.
You're right there. Spitting in the mouth is gross. It's fucking stupid.
Auditors are hard because I am a constitutionalist. So they're hard for me because their targets are always dumb cops. And I shouldn't say dumb cops, just uneducated cops. That's their target, and that's the people that they expose.
Egotistical cops.
And they're usually right. I have no problem with anybody showing up at my door. I'm not terrified. I'm not scared. It's a fucking door. What are you going to do? Like, it's my house.
But if I ask you to leave, if I come to your house and I'm just like, I'm going to fucking sleep here for a week, and you're like, no, you got to leave. Like, no, okay.
That's different. He didn't sleep for a week.
Different.
He didn't sleep there for a week. He backed up all the way down the driveway and got spit on. I know who he is. He's famous on YouTube. You know why he's there. If you think today was a day, he's like, you know what? Today's a day I'm just going to kill a cop. Today's a day I'm going to kill a cop. Come on.
What if it is?
So, okay.
What if he hit his plateau on the platform and now he's just, trying to take it to another level and go out there and
So spitting on him, you broke the safety of your door. You broke the safety of your castle where you can actually shoot him if he decides today's the day. And you went outside and entertained it and then followed him down and then spit on him. You're a moron. I side with the auditor completely.
Not on private property. He had no right to be there.
I worked dope here for 8 years in my own town, which was very dangerous. All the drug dealers knew me, and I had people tell me, this guy's going to kill you if he ever gets out of prison. This guy knows where your kids go to school. So I was always on my toes, and a guy at my door is not going to drive me crazy like that, dude. Like, it's 2025, man. People know where you
I
fucking
think
live.
it's
They
just
know what you
it's your
drive.
castle, man. If honestly, you're kind of like the weird one. If that wouldn't bother you, I think
Wouldn't bother me.
my personal opinion, like out of all of us, I think the reason why it's so triggering is because it's your castle, it's your family, and somebody has the audacity to do that. Where if you don't feel that way, then not you're wrong or you're bad. You're just the odd one out.
I yell
That's
at
normal.
fucking window salesmen that come too many times from the same company to my door.
I do live in a subdivision, gated, so you know I'm too much
Yeah.
riffraff.
Oh,
I don't
listen,
have
this
much
guy.
riffraff. I don't have much
This
riffraff
guy.
walking around.
Auditor
but,
free subdivision.
But you know, we have an auditor free zone
Auditor-free
here.
zone.
We don't deal with that riffraff.
You're like-
Everybody, as many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, advanced investigations, etc. And here, I'm doing a response video. You guys have spammed me with this Copville, clip. So as you can see, I put both videos in there of it. The one showing the kind of just the full, contact with Sergeant Fahey, or former trooper, Connecticut State Trooper Sergeant Fahey, Leahy, something like that, and then Sean Reyes from Long Island Audit. So you can see both clips that Cottville put out, and I saw the video that Sean had put out on his channel. I've seen the whole video there. So again, I'm just responding to what these law enforcement officers are saying. And so let me just be honest with my bias. I'm in law enforcement. I'm a full-time law enforcement officer. I have various degrees, training experience, education. I'm a certified teacher. So I'm coming at this from a very academic standpoint, right? And a lot of these former cops are coming at this from just I don't know, maybe how they feel. I don't know. I just have to take them at face value because I don't know them. And so based upon my perception of this, I think the way law enforcement handled this, I think how the Groton PD police department handled this, it was just horrible. I think they handled it absolutely horribly. I think that the Leahy, Fahey, whatever his name is, I think he absolutely showed his rear end here. Definitely brought discredit to the Connecticut State Police, brought discredit to himself, his character. Again, I just think everything was handled poorly. I think, let's tell you how I feel about Sean Reyes. It's very clear he went there motivated with an agenda, and he won. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like him, hate him. It looked very scripted. Obviously, it looked like he got advice from very good lawyers. He executed this contact, which he knew was going to end the way. I have no doubt that he knew it was going to end in an arrest. I think that he wanted that arrest to happen. Just my opinions. And he executed this flawlessly. From an auditor standpoint, I mean, I have to give him, he's good at what he does. I mean, he executed this perfectly. He did everything pretty much flawlessly. I mean, he did a good job. He did a good job getting the law enforcement to violate his rights. He did a good job getting law enforcement to look absolutely horrible. And I mean, I don't know anybody from the Groton Police Department. I don't know any Connecticut State Troopers. But guys, I don't know you. I don't care. I know you don't care what I think. But you guys handled that horribly. Absolutely horribly. I get that there's small town politics, right? I get that there's probably decisions that were made above you, and it's very clear you guys decided to violate somebody's rights because doing the right thing was too hard in this situation and circumstance, and that's just purely what it comes down to. I have no problem saying that. It is what it is. You guys don't pay me, and law enforcement doesn't pay me enough to lie to you guys about civil rights. So it is what it is. And so when we look at this from an academic standpoint, as far as the case law perspective, here's some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. When we look at this from a case law perspective, right, the United States Supreme Court, as you can see on your screen here, has affirmed and upheld in numerous court case precedents the right of an individual to give in door-to-door solicitations for non-commercial causes, especially for those of religious nature. And again, there's 7 case laws right off the bat. And then let's talk about commercial causes. There's a Supreme Court case that basically upheld that if there is a local ordinance requiring a permit before somebody could do door-to-door sales, right? And so this wouldn't be applicable because for my knowledge, there is no Groton specific ordinance that would prevent you from exercising your First Amendment right, or from using it for a commercial clause like say for YouTube, right? And if there was, they would have cited him for that. So obviously he was 100% well within his First Amendment rights to go knock on a door and ask for public opinion. Again, there's nothing against the law about going to a door, knocking on the door and asking, right? It's the same thing that protects your neighbors from knocking on your door. Hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Or for the Boy Scouts to come, Girl Scouts to come sell you cookies, right? Or for, I mean, that would be commercial causes, but you get what I mean. The Jehovah's Witnesses or Christians or Catholics or whoever comes to your door wanting to talk to you about their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, however you want to placate that out. And so we know that there are First Amendment protections for this. And so again, the same protections for a Jehovah's Witness, Protestant, Catholic, what have you, right? Organizationally, and I say that because there are many different denominations of Christianity. They're protected. The Constitution, the First Amendment, the Supreme Court, again, is affirming this. And so from the constitutional aspect of it, I don't see a crime that we can charge him with as far as that goes. The next thing that we really need to look at is trespassing, right? Trespassing defined. And this is Oklahoma specific. And so, in the state of Oklahoma, for example, a trespasser is a person who is trespassing is a person who is entered without consent and or lawfully stayed upon somebody else's land and refused to leave after a lawful request has been made of him or her. So in this case, we saw Sean Reyes knock on the door. I'm here to speak with Sergeant Leahy, whatever his name is, here to speak with him. Immediately he says, "You're trespass, get out of here." And so what does he do? He immediately starts to leave. You can see as soon as he's asked to leave, he doesn't move forward. He immediately goes back, and he is leaving the entire time. That's completely clear from the footage. And then you see that the trooper couldn't help himself. Former trooper couldn't help himself. Has to go make contact with him again, get in his face with a pistol in his hand. And eventually you saw that he spits in his face. And, again, Sean completely listens, follows instructions the entire time. Again, I'm not saying you have to like what he did, but as far as executing his mission and what his intent was, again, he did it flawlessly. And like one of the cops said on that, on the panel, auditors work on dumb cops. Unfortunately, it's true. Like, obviously, he kind of backtracked that. I'm not going to again. I'm not a content creator like they are. I'm not here to placate to anybody's ego. These auditors absolutely work well on dumb cops or cops with egos. They absolutely do. Let's just call it what it is. Again, I don't agree. I don't like what Reyes did, but he executed it flawlessly. He got his intent and purpose down, and that's evidently clear. And it's so funny about this is nobody wants to look at this factually. They just want to look at it from their feeling standpoint, which is fine. But again, it just goes to show that 100% there. And so here's what's really interesting about the trespassing. A lot of people don't know this. One of the courses I teach here in Oklahoma is I do concealed carry training. I talk to people about their rights, constitutional rights, and I do it for law enforcement on duty, off duty, and then I do it for everyday concealed carry permit holders. And so I do one for law enforcement and then one for non-law enforcement, military, people like that. And when we look at this, and part of the law enforcement would be also covering under LEOSA, which you kind of got a taste of that in one of my previous videos. But here's what's really interesting about Oklahoma. As you can see here, I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but I want you to read this. So long as the trespasser does not commit or attempt to commit a felony, force is reasonable only where it does not take or endanger human life. If no felony is committed or attempted but the individual is unable to prevent or terminate the trespass by means short of life endangering force, the Court of Criminal Appeals has firmly held and declared the individual must suffer the trespass and seek redress at the hands of the law rather than commit homicide. Jackson versus State, and there's numerous other case laws there. And then let's look at the next screen here. The trespasser's right of self-defense does not arise until he has availed himself of every safe means of retreat. But even a trespasser, under such circumstances where means of retreat are impractical, has a right within reasonable bounds to repel an apparent attack in his necessary self-defense. You can take that for however you mean it, but I just think it's crazy. And again, it just comes from people that don't know the law. When people say, well, if somebody knocks on my door at night and I don't know who they are, I'm going to shoot first, ask questions later. It's like, number one, most people don't do that. A lot of these people are just big talkers. And then number two, okay, you can absolutely do that. Just understand what trespassing and what the state law on it says. Like, do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do, but I highly encourage you to get a lawyer before you ruin the rest of your life because you want to have a big ego complex. And so I bring that up because there's this kind of this mysticism behind trespass and what trespassing means and what you can do. Because remember, in most places, trespass is just a misdemeanor offense, right? And the idea, like what this cop said, that I'm going to give him a lawful order to leave, and then if he doesn't leave immediately and starts talking to me about it, I'm just going to go hands on. It's like, true, he might be that cop. I don't know how you can get away with that over and over again without, having some kind of, loss of qualified immunity or get in trouble with some regards. But unfortunately on this channel, we see that cops like to violate people's civil liberties a lot. So, maybe he's being honest. Maybe he's being honest when he's saying that. Maybe he's being honest when he's saying that he's just going to kick everybody's butt. Okay, cool. Maybe he's just that guy. But again, from a case law perspective, that attitude is just completely not conducive to what the jury instructors, especially for Oklahoma, says. Now, if you can show me a state where that totally flies for trespass, show me. I'd love to look at the literature on that. But again, Oklahoma has a very law enforcement friendly statutes compared to other places, and that's just not permissible. That's just, that idea that a DA would go for that is just, it's kind of ridiculous. And so again, when we look at this from a logical standpoint, I think we all have to realize and understand, especially in this case, again, the cops fell for it. Again, Mr. Reyes came there with the intention of creating a contact. I believe he knew and was hoping that he would get the arrest, so that he could, again, this is how he makes a living. And so, and he's very good. I'm just going to call it what it is. He's very good. And that cop was, again, he walked it back. I'm just going to affirm, yeah, these First Amendment auditors are great at dumb cops and cops with egos. Very good at it. They're very good at making a point, and they're very good at, if they know the right buttons to press, they're going to be very successful in their endeavors of making law enforcement look horrible for that clickbait. So, and in reality, it's not even clickbait. I mean, they just totally gave them everything they want. So there you have it. Groton Police Department. I have no idea what they were thinking. I have no idea why anybody thought that was a good idea. And the sad part is, it was another supervisor that made the call. I don't know what his thought process was. Obviously, it wasn't case law driven. Probably politically driven, motivated, if I had to take a wild guess there. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's 2025. You would think that law enforcement agencies would be a little smarter about this, but hey man, it is what it is. Again, hope this video was helpful for you guys. That's my breakdown. But most importantly, tell me what you thought in the comment section below. What do you guys think of this case law? Like it, hate it? What do you think of the situation? I'm curious to see you guys. Curious to see what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, guys, long live the Republic.